When I go to Edisto Beach State Park 3 or 4 times a year, I follow 26 down from Spartanburg. I go through Columbia, catch 95 and follow it down to Walterboro. And once I get down to Walterboro, I'll take Highway 64 until I meet 17. 17 will follow all the way across to Charleston, but I drop off of 17 onto 174 and I come all the way to Edisto Beach State Park. So it lies between Charleston and Beaufort. And that's what right here, as we're coming into the beach area, we turn into Edisto Beach State Park. The campers have to move back into this area right here. You have to schedule about 11 months in advance. Now, as you're coming in to the beach area, just before you run into the ocean, right over here is a Piggly Wiggly. And right behind the Piggly Wiggly and following on Jungle Road is Buck's Pizza. And over here is a Subway sandwich shop. But as you're entering the beach area, you can pay $4 a person and just stay right in here and just swim at the beach and go up the beach and do whatever you want. But if you're camping, you will come back into this area, and I prefer these trees right in here because it keeps the sun off you. There's a sea breeze all the time in the hot summer, keeps the insects away from you, and that's what I prefer to do, is schedule the camps. And then I like to go back to the salt marsh, and back into this area right in here is where I'll put in my minnow traps and catch minnows. And then I'll come back up and go down the beach on the bike, and you can walk it, but I prefer to take the bike. And when I get down here to this first inlet, it's called Jeremy Cay. And you can fish out here and you can catch bigger fish in this area. You can go back into the inlet and catch flounder and spot-tailed bass and sea trout and during the night, when I go down at 1 or 2 in the morning, or when it's dark or black, I'll go into this area right in here, and that's the area where I have to, at night, walk across the inlet just a little bit. It's kind of unnerving in the black, but I get over here to that sandbar, and I'll go ahead with a light and look for flounder, and sometimes gig 2 or 3 flounder in the evening. But it's a lot of fun, and this area right in here is where you find the biggest shark's teeth. On an aerial view, the place where we go when we're crossing 174, crossing that big bridge right there, is we'll come down and we'll turn right and go right on to the frontage road there, and it takes us right into this area right here. If I zero in on that just a little bit more, you can actually see one big pier coming out like that, and a dock, boat dock right in there. We throw our cast nets right off this little dock. 174, going across the Dahoo River, and that's where we get, I think, is the best place to go shrimping to catch your bait fish. I have a satellite view of Edisto Beach State Park and some of the campsites, and when I want to get minnows, mud minnows, to use for bait when I go down to Jeremy Cay Inlet, I'll usually trot across. You can see some of these paths going right through there, barely, maybe, and it leads you to part of the salt marsh area where the water comes in, and I'll throw a minnow trap right in this area here, and it's probably one of the better places to get minnows.